Hello, everyone. Welcome to our noon webinar today. Give me just a minute here. I need to deal with a couple technical things just briefly. Thank you. Okay, folks, thanks for joining us today. We really appreciate your joining us for what might be your lunch hour today. Want to make sure that, Andy, you can verify that you can see the screen and that you have my audio okay?
Yeah, we hear you fine, Sandoval. We can see your screen.
Oh, that's great. Thank you, sir. Just as background, my name is Sandoval. I'm the Communications Director for the California Community Colleges Technology Center. Today, we're going to be presenting a webinar regarding the Technology Center, of course, but kind of specifically ways that the Technology Center has put in place structures to both help you understand the products that are available, as well as provide support for both the implementation and ongoing customer support of those tools as well. Oh, let's see here. So I'm sorry, folks. So once more, I've got to deal with something technical. Okay, got it, I think. So this session is being recorded. So we will distribute the link within 2 to 3 days after the webinar is complete. We just need to make sure it's accessible, and then we'll redistribute the link out to the same distribution lists. Captioning is available for the webinar today. If you're not already seeing it, there is a closed caption button in your Zoom toolbar. And then finally, we are going to be using chat for questions today. So we do have a lot to cover. So I will keep us moving along just so that the information, all the information has a chance to be presented, but we will be looking to answer questions as well as provide you with contacts if we're unable to answer a question during the session today. So, just moving on to our agenda here. Again, I'm Sandoval. I'm the Communications Director here at the Technology Center. The California Community Colleges Technology Center is funded by the Chancellor's Office via the Department of Finance and competitive grants. The Tech Center supports the system-wide technology projects of the Chancellor's Office, and specifically the projects of the Digital Infrastructure and Innovation Division. The Tech Center is currently headquartered at Butte College in Northern California, up here in Butte County. The Tech Center grant has been here since 1997, and a form of it was here at Butte College since 1994. We are not an entirely unique organization, but we are insiders to the California Community College system. So we take an approach that is not necessarily vendor centric, and that we work with folks, statewide personnel and college practitioners such as yourselves have always been involved in both an advisory and directional giving direction to the products as a whole as we've moved through time. So all of our products are of the colleges, by the colleges, and for the colleges. So that's enough for me, other than I'm going to go through this agenda just briefly to give you an idea of what's coming. We're going to hear first from Andy Newman, our Enabling Services Officer. He's going to give you some background on the Enabling Services program. And specifically, we really want to connect you to your college relationship manager. If there's nothing else that happens for you today, we want you to understand that you do have a contact that you can reach out to at any time for tech center related matters. We're going to be hearing from our product manager, Jane Linder. She's going to give us an update on CCC MyPath, as well as CCC Apply. And then we're also going to focus specifically and briefly on the spam filter within CCC Apply today. As the product manager, Jane Linder will be able to provide quite a bit of insight into these products. Roberto Fuentes, our support leader, will give you a tour of a new community forum that we've launched, and it serves as a support tool and knowledge base. And finally, we're going to hear from one of our college relationship managers directly. Monica Zelikit will provide a closing for us. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to you, Andy Newman, and take it away. I'll work the slides for you.
Thank you, Sandoval. Appreciate it. It's nice to see, it looks like 135 people joined today so far. Appreciate that. Glad you're spending your lunch hour with us. And appreciate Felicity adding her mention there in the chat. So let's make sure that the chat is alive and well. We have folks that are monitoring that. So if we go to the next slide, my role, I oversee the enabling services group. And what I want to make sure that you do is understand what enabling services is and how it is meant to serve you. If you click again, Sandoval, the enabling services team is actually the services group that provides you, the colleges, with a lot of free services. The enabling services group is a subgroup inside of the tech center. And as you know, as Sandoval just mentioned, the Chancellor's Office and the Tech Center combined provide low cost and really free software solutions to you and your college. Click again, Sandoval. We also implement the services. The implementation services are at no cost as well, which is essentially an extension of your IT group. You know, there's a lot of times that people shy away from implementing a new solution because they think our IT group is already overburdened or tasked. Well, we're here to solve that solution for you. As you see there, the products are built and improved continually, specifically, as Sandoval says, by, for, and with the colleges. Click again and you'll see that the enabling services is really about caring for you and your success with the solutions that you adopt from the Chancellor's Office and the Tech Center. We really want you to be successful, and we have a team that really is dedicated to doing that. And the bottom line is, by adopting the solutions that are provided to you at no cost, rather than an off-the-shelf solution, really colleges can save, you know, tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in license fees and services fees and renewal fees, that you can put that money towards something else that your shop or department or group might need as well. So that's just kind of a quick overview, Sandoval. Next slide. We want to make sure that you're clear that with the Chancellor's Office student digital touchpoints, you're all probably familiar with this slide. Before we get to the blue lines, which kind of talk about some of the key solutions, over on the left on Discovery, the Tech Center also provides a career mapping tool called Career Coach. And then moving to Apply, you see we have OpenCCC and the CCC Apply suite, which I'm sure you're all familiar with. We also, from the enrollment phase, provide MyPath, which is an ever expanding and growing solution that Jane's going to talk about here in just a minute, as well as multiple measures and other things. And you see those blue lines connecting to this super glue integration. That's really the back-end integration that connects all of these systems together in great ways. Following that blue line back up, you can see that that information coming from Apply and the enrollment suite through Superglue can interface with Canvas, your student information system, the library platform, and future things as well. Across the bottom, you'll notice that reading from left to right, skipping a few, but from the Tech Center, you also get your Scenic, which is your internet pipeline, Accessibility Center, the access to the data warehouse or Superglue, the Information Security Center, Single Sign-On Federation, and so forth. So really, a lot of what the Chancellor's Office provides is funneled through the CCC Technology Center, and Enabling Services is here to help you deploy those things. So on the next slide, you'll see what we've tried to do with Enabling Services is basically give you a menu. Here are all the solutions that are provided to you at no cost. All you have to do is select one of those, and we will push it through the Enabling Services delivery funnel, so to speak, and help deliver that to you, your college, in the most streamlined and efficient way possible. If you look inside that funnel on the next slide, we'll kind of break it down a little bit. And this time, starting on the right, you, the college, you see that arrow that points directly to the college relationship manager? That is your single central point of contact. That's the easy button that we've provided for you. All you need to do when you walk away from this meeting today is remember the name and email address of your college relationship manager, because your college relationship manager is your key to anything that you want to adopt or interact with or have questions about or want to expand something that's already in place. Just reach out to your college relationship manager. If you're interested in MyPath, your college relationship manager will work with your implementation project manager and the implementation team to build out a Gantt chart and plan out your deployment work. Also, once your deployment moves forward in time to the point where it's close to going live, we'll introduce you down at the bottom of the screen in the green area to the support team, so that you'll understand as you're transitioning out of deployment and into long-term support, you'll know how to contact and interface with the end user support team for long-term break fix support issues. But anytime along the way, if you have any questions about you wanting to expand your configuration, adopt another solution, you have a question about what goes great with burritos, reach out to your college relationship manager again, and they'll help you out. So on the next slide is just a quick example of a deployment plan for the Superglue College adapter. This one happens to be Santa Barbara's from a year or so ago. But I want to draw your attention to the resource column, because the names of the resources that are assigned to each of those tasks, Brian Moss and Martin Rudd, are in the implementation services team, the enabling services team. Meaning, those are resources that are doing work and tasks and accomplishing things that your IT team isn't having to do. Yes, they are interfacing with you, they are working with you every step of the way, but we really try to take as much burden off of your team as possible for the deployment work. So this is just an example. On the next slide, I want to introduce you to Warren Whitmore. Now, while I'm talking about Warren, I want you to look at that list of colleges, find your college name. Don't worry, there's 2 more slides, so that you know if you are a college that Warren is responsible for. So one of the things you'll notice here is Warren is listed as the lead college relationship manager. He oversees the team. He's a fantastic resource. He's been with the Tech Center for years. And there's his contact information on the bottom left. So make sure you jot that down or screenshot this or whatever you want to do really quickly. I'll give this just another moment. And then we'll go to the next slide, which is an introduction to Monica Zelaket's list of colleges. There's her beautiful picture right there as well. So find your college name on this list and jot down Monica's contact information. Monica, as you know, if you've worked with her already, is a Spitfire. She's got lots of energy and excitement, and really goes to bat to help the colleges succeed in any way that she can. So make sure that if your name is on this screen right now, that you reach out. Operators are standing by. All right, on the next screen, you'll see the list of Monica Matusik's colleges. By the way, Monica and Monica are both here in attendance today. Monica is, she started with the Tech Center in the sport arena, really knows and understands a day in the life of the college, knows our solutions very, very well. And again, has more energy than I've ever had, and will take care of you in any way that you might need. So again, just leave that up there for just another minute so that you can make sure that you can find your name on this particular list. Now, we're going to go to one more slide before we go to Jane. And on this next slide, if you didn't catch it yet, go ahead, Sandoval. Here they are again. Warren, Monica, and Monica, there's their contact information. If for some reason you weren't able to catch your college name on one of those slides, no big deal. Right there at the very bottom where it says CRMs at ccctechcenter.org, that email goes to all three of them. So you can't lose. Feel free to, and Jennifer has posted that email address in the chat link as well for you, so you can have that handy. So there's my message to you today. Free software solutions, free implementation delivery services, a great team of account managers who will do everything they can to assist you in this process, and their contact information. That's what I'd like to make sure that you remember today. Now we're going to get into a little bit more nitty-gritty detail about a few of our products. And then Monica Zellicut at the end will wrap us up with a little bit more detail around enabling services and how you can interact with us. But at this point, I'm completed, and we'll turn it over to Jane to talk about MyPath.
Thank you, Andy. Jane, are you on? Okay. In the chat window there, we did share some links as well as, there we go. Jane, go ahead and try your mic again, please, Jane.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, we sure can. Thank you, Jane. Just wanted to mention there were several links that were put into the chat tool that will help you to connect with CRMs for your college, in addition to the information that Andy shared. Thank you, and go ahead, Jane.
Great, thank you, Sandoval. And it's a pleasure to follow the ES team. As a product manager, we work very closely with our enabling services team because they interact with the colleges to such a great extent, and we get some of our best ideas from colleges through them. So in addition to lining you up with the free products to support your operations and business, the CRMs are also an excellent pipeline for wanting to bounce off enhancement requests and ideas about how we can make our products better. So certainly you can reach out to me directly, but a lot of times, since they're right there during implementations, please make sure you use them because they are an excellent feedback channel for that. All right, my name is Jane Linder. I'm the product manager for what we're calling our Student Success Suite, our student-facing products. I started with the Tech Center 4 years ago, but I've only just started as the product manager for the Student Success Suite with this fiscal year, as we consolidated several of our student-facing products to have greater efficiencies across our Tech Center resources. And as we were drawing a lot of these student-facing products closer together with integrations, it became apparent that this was a good approach for us. So the first one we're going to talk about is MyPath, which is our student onboarding platform. And for those of you who are familiar with MyPath, you, I believe, had received notification that we did release MyPath 211 or 211 in September. In this, we laid the groundwork for statistical reports, things like advisor card completion status, things that let you know per student, but also globally across your college, what the advisor card completion rates are. Task completion status within those advisor cards, again, per student and globally. What users, how many users are accessing MyPath and using the features there. Reminders sent per channel. So whether the reminders are being sent by text or email or the MyPath inbox, how many of those reminders are being sent. And then engagement rate that's resulting from these reminders. We also had support for Madera College, our 116th college. That was exciting for us to see. It's always great to see our system growing in response to the needs of the population in our state. So that was really neat to work with Madera College and have them set up within MyPath. They are not using MyPath yet. We just listed Madera College so that they're in the drop-down box of colleges for MyPath. Next slide. Great. So what's coming soon for MyPath? We are, along with our CCC Apply 6.8 release, which is coming up very soon, we have support for an application link to MyPath within the international application. Again, for those of you who are MyPath users, I'm sure you're familiar with the support within CCC Apply standard application that allows you to have a link to your MyPath environment that helps to transition students to their next steps in their onboarding once they've completed that application. We're now providing similar support for international students within the international online application. We're also going to be actually executing the reports access via the report center for those reports I mentioned earlier. Those right now, as I mentioned, we laid the groundwork by basically setting up all of the, the data streams to the data warehouse that are needed for those reports. But we're building those reports and have yet to release the actual reports. So those actual reports are going to be targeted for a release in winter and spring of 2021. And as I mentioned, we have been working with our data warehouse team, and that's our infrastructure and data team who are building out their side of that reporting structure. So that's it for MyPath for now. And next slide. Yeah. CCC Apply. As I mentioned, we have our fall winter CCC Apply 6.8 release coming up. In this, the major new feature are updates to the standard application education page for adult school special admits. And this is in support of Senate Bill 554. I know many of you who are in our admissions and records are, familiar with that designation of SB 554 and the need to have some additional information within the standard application to support those students. As I mentioned earlier, we're also, CCC Apply is supporting in the next release the international application link to MyPath. We've done a lot of work. One of the things with the consolidation this new fiscal year of this student-facing suite of products, we really realized we needed to work on better, easier, more streamlined deployments and some infrastructure enhancements to allow us to basically capture statistics and capture and log better than we've been doing in the past for CCC Apply. So there's a lot of enhancements and infrastructure that is going to be deployed with CCC Apply 6.8. Nothing that you will see except it will be something that will allow for better performance. We're targeting the pilot and production by the end of this calendar year. As you know, holidays always get to be a complication. We could get this out, we hope, as early as next week, as late as the week of December 4th. And we'll be providing details in the forums and in the listservs. What we are also doing that's new with our student-facing products, so that means MyPath, Apply, OpenCCC, is we're starting to invite students as well as college staff to do focused user acceptance testing for releases. The 6.8 release is the first time we're going to be piloting this program. We've invited upwards of 30 students who have filled out surveys for us this fall on a number of topics around CCC Apply. We want to make sure we actually are getting more and more student input on what we're doing with CCC Apply. We feel like that's just a need that we haven't really addressed in the past. If you're interested, as Jennifer says, if you as a staff member at your college, if you're interested in participating in UAT, please contact me or contact your CRM. The testing for CCC Apply 6.8 is really, since the main feature is this one SB 554 feature, it's a targeted, really focused test on that education page. It should only take, I'd say, 1 to 2 hours of testing is what we're looking at for you to go through and make sure that that all looks good. We would also like to get general enhancement feedback and general application feedback, as well as that, focused use case. So this would be a great chance for you guys to let us know what you'd like to see in CCC Apply in future releases. Okay, next slide, please. Spam filter. Okay, we have been doing a lot with spam filter, and I'm sure some of you have seen some of the results of the deployments we've been doing in October. In our last webinar in the first week of September, we had announced that we would be doing updates to our spam filter in October. For those of you who are not familiar with the spam filter and how it works, it is based on a machine learning model. And so as the colleges go through and mark and verify things that have been flagged as spam and verify them as either legitimate applications or verify them as fraud, it helps that model to learn. And I want to mention that because we really do encourage you to do your bit and continue to verify that. I know it can be an onerous process, but it's one that is, I think, it helps the entire system get better and better at catching spam. We did get reports from colleges saying more spam is getting caught. And so at first that was great. Then we got reports that other updates made it so that more legitimate applications were getting held up as spam, some of them being marked as up to 100% spam. So we made updates last week to mitigate that issue. And what we're doing right now is we've with these deployments in October, we've kind of caught up the machine learning that the colleges have and the input the colleges have provided us up through, I'd say probably, I believe, about the last month. What we're working towards is to get to an auto learning model where we don't have to make these updates. They just kind of are automatically deployed by that model. And that getting to that state where we get this auto learning model in place is planned for Q3 and Q3 of fiscal year 2021. So that'll be in the winter quarter next year. We do like to get feedback on whether the spam filter process is working. We've gotten a lot of great feedback from schools on, what's working really well with these latest updates and what wasn't. So there's the support staff Zendesk you can use. And then also our support team does really enjoy and is eager to work with your staff on collaborating on the best, anti-spam practices. There's recommendations and white papers that we can provide to you that have a lot of really great suggestions and recommendations for you in mitigating spam. We do announce spam filter updates. We can't give really detailed information because, of course, that does lead us open to being, giving tools to the hackers to improve things. But we do announce the updates that we're going to be making and when within the ccctechnology.info forum. So you can look for notifications there. Okay, and it looks like there's a lot of questions on spam right now. Do we want to pause for a sec?
Yes, Jane, I just want to make sure that all the questions there are answered. How often are you training the model? We have an answer from Dr. Coleman. We've been training every week or so since September, and the auto learning state is coming in the first part of the new calendar year. Mm-hmm. Let's see, is there a spam mailing list or group meeting planned?
Yes, we are working to do that. I must admit, I'm new to getting all of the subcommittees organized and planned out. And we are planning on doing, it's been hard to organize around the holidays, but we are trying to get that on the books as soon as possible. We've been actually so busy doing with the spam filter that we haven't had a chance to take a break and have a meeting, but we're hoping we'll have a chance to have that subcommittee share with them the results of all of these learnings, and then also more details on the auto learning model, early in 2021 if we haven't gotten it on the books for this calendar year.
That's great. We have more input from Jennifer regarding the subcommittees. Are working to get those scheduled around the holidays. Discounted pricing for Zendesk. We at the Tech Center don't offer discounted Zendesk pricing, but we do recommend checking with the foundation and their college bias program. There may be some availability there. Mm-hmm. And then we do have a question. Can we please allow colleges to download all applications, including those you believe are spam, and allow us to download your spam scoring so colleges can decide?
Yeah, and that is an input that we have gotten from a couple of colleges. So I do appreciate that. It's something that we will discuss with the spam committee as well.
So we are taking recommendations on that and looking to see what can be done in a future build. Is that correct, Jane? Yep,
that's something we evaluate.
Very good. And we would encourage those of you that feel really strongly about that direction to become involved in the subcommittees and other advisory roles that are available.
Yeah, I like Sean's request too, because I myself have submitted the 20 at a time, and that is something that is high up on our request list, is to allow more than just 20 confirmation numbers at a time. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, and input from Jennifer saying that we'll be increasing that limit very soon. Can MyPath data be available in the data warehouse?
And that is what we talked about. We just had our release 211 that did include all of the background processes to seed that data in the data warehouse. Sure. We're now actually going to be working with our data team to build the reports to present that data and give colleges access to that data in the report center. That is targeted for, looking like winter, spring 2021.
So upcoming.
Yes, very, very close.
Okay. Looks like we have addressed most of the questions there, and folks will have plenty of time to connect you after presentations as well. Just a couple more here, Jane. Would it be possible to require applications on Apply to provide photo ID for verification?
It's possible. Anything is possible, and I would just encourage that to be submitted as an enhancement request. You can do that through Zendesk, through your customer relationship manager, and then I can create actually a JIRA ticket for that. But that's something I haven't heard before, but I am, as I said, very new to Apply. So it'd be great to get some background on, how that photo ID would work, and where it would, what the process would be in terms of having students upload that. We do have a document uploader in MyPath that could be used for that. But I would wonder how students would upload that. I guess we'd have to extend the uploading to CCC Apply. So it would be great to get some more background on that request. That would be great. Oh, and Steve, Steve Klein is actually here, who's with our the program director for our product director for our data warehouse team. So he has some answers for some of that as well, and Mark Cohn.
Yeah, so we are answering the questions in chat. I'm going to move that into answering solely by chat and move us on through the presentation at this point. Jane, did you have any last comments to add?
No, other than just to say that, again, please do try to get onto the ccctechnology.info forums. My comrade, Roberto, from our support team is going to talk about those forums and how you can get access next. So thank you.
Very good. Thanks, Shane. Roberto, are you on? Let's see. Let me make sure you can unmute. Go ahead and try.
Can you hear me?
Yep,
Awesome.
we got you. Thanks.
Awesome. So yeah, hi everybody. My name's Roberto Fuentes. I am the supervisor of student services here at the Technology Center. I've been working here in this role since 2012. So today what I'll be doing, I'll be going over our community staff and faculty support forum. I'll go over the different categories that we have in our support forum, our discussions, our functionalities and preferences. As well, I'll go through how you guys can register and create an account and how you guys can set up your user preferences. What I am going to do is I'm going to turn off my camera for the moment, just because as probably a lot of you, I have my kiddos doing Zoom right now with the teachers, just, with the whole COVID issue. So I'm just go ahead and turn off my camera so that way I don't have any kind of connectivity issues. Okay. Sandoval, can next slide, please. You're on mute, bud. Yep. Maybe am I not seeing the slide, or?
I've got it on categories. Are you not seeing it?
No, I'm just seeing the MyPath update. Am I wrong here? Something wrong with my connection?
I'm able to see the screen with the slide.
Yeah. So I'm on the community forum slide right now, Roberto.
Okay. Yeah, must be an issue with my connection. So I'll go. Give me a sec, guys.
Sure.
Apologies. Connectivity issues, like I was saying. Okay, let me just get there the same slide as you guys.
Sure.
Okay, so yeah. So the community forum, ccctechnology.info. What this is, again, it's our community forum where staff, faculty from the colleges can come in here, and you guys can, there's every kind of product and every service that we provide support for, you will find that information in here. So for example, if you're looking for information and support on MyPath, CCC Apply, COCI, CID, all the information that we're putting out there as far as like announcements, future releases, updates that are coming with our products and services, we're posting that information in this community forum. The great thing about this forum, it provides easy access to every college staff and faculty, so you guys can, what kind of amongst one another. You can just see what other folks at your college might be asking on that, regarding that. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, awesome. All right. So as well, this is
Roberto,
our
you're
system-wide application and services.
You're cutting out a bit here, sir. Go ahead and continue at this point. If it continues to break up, we'll switch to a different approach.
Oh, okay. All right. Apologies, man. Apologies.
No problem.
Right, next slide. Categories. So in the categories here, what you guys can see is we have different categories. Like I was saying, CCC Apply. You can see the MyPath information. You can find information on COCI. You can find information on CID. And every product manager is coming in here and they're vetting the information that's being released out to you guys, to your staff and to your faculty. So what you guys can also do is, once you're in here, you find a category so that you might want to follow, or that's pertinent to you and your daily task. You can follow a category. So anytime that we are going to put out a new release, or we're gonna put a new we have an announcement on that product, if we have future updates coming, or we have bug resolutions, you will find it in here. We will post that information in this forum. So what I would suggest is, and I'll walk you guys through it, is making sure that you guys are following the categories that pertain to your daily task, or, if you might want to stay up to date on everything the Technology Center is doing. And by all means, we encourage that. And we do ask that you guys come in here and stand up your accounts, and then, follow the categories that will assist you in staying up to date and aware of the Technology Center updates and announcements. Next slide, please.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Roberto. There is a good question in here regarding a private forum.
Yes.
Can we get a private forum to discuss spam mitigation issues? And yeah, there's Jennifer's answering. You can answer as well, Roberto. The spam forum will have controlled access confirmed. Yeah.
Yes. So we are going to set that up. So what it will do is we will identify who we're going to bring into that group, because again, it will be set up privately, because we try to keep information regarding the spam filter, we try not to give out too much information. So, because as soon as, we put information out there, the hackers might see it. So we do have the capability to create private forum, and we are going to be doing that. I've been working with Jane on that. And we do have a group set up. Now we just got to identify the users that we're going to pull into that. So if you guys have any questions or would like to request to be added to that group, please feel free to reach out, send me an email, or you can even post it in the CCC technology.info forum, and then we can follow up with you guys with an update on that.
Very good. We're at discussions, community forum discussions.
Thank you, Sandoval.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what we were going over earlier was the categories. So once you drill down into a category, you will be brought into the discussion. So the discussion, what it is here is where we have the questions. We'll have, you can come in here, you can see questions that have been posted by other folks. You can see posts make about an announcement on an upcoming release. And then within there, you'll see that a lot of times your peers might have the same question that you have, and they've probably already asked that question in there. So the intent of this is for you guys to be able to share ideas amongst one another and be able to see what kind of questions or concerns that your peers might have. And 9 out of 10 times what we're finding is we're getting, multiple people landing on the page, but we might have 1 or 2 questions posted, and then we'll put a response to it, because we are monitoring this Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And we have the support engineers are providing the end user support and your answers to you, as well with the input from our product managers. So again, you can come in here, you can ask a question, you can reply to a post, you can make suggestions for a product, like if maybe you have a good idea of an enhancement request for one of our applications, by all means, feel free to post it in here, and then we will pass that information on to the product managers. And this is something that they can take a look at and consider as far as future release or implementation. Next slide, please.
You got it.
Okay. So this is the community forum. What we're looking at right now is this new discussion. This is where you would come in and you can, request support or just post a question in here, post an idea in here. So what you do is when you land in here, when you click on select the category, you'll have a list of all the products and categories that we are currently providing end user support for. You would select that category, and then you post your question with as much detail as you would like to post, and then that post is going to go out to the support engineers, who are going to see that post, and depending on if it's a suggestion or if it's a actual support request, we'll handle that appropriately. If it's a support request, we'll troubleshoot with you on there, try to provide you a resolution on there. If it's an idea, we'll share that idea with the product managers. And again, every product manager in here is seeing when somebody posts any kind of comment or topic on that product, they're going to see that information. And again, you guys get to share that information amongst your peers. You can come in here and just, as well. Next slide, please. We'll go into how to register and sign in once you post your discussion. So registering and signing in, to register, it's fairly easy, right? So I'll go through this briefly. It's, you enter your email address, you can set up your own username, you can set up your own password. It's this goes to very security security checks, as you can see on the screenshot to the right. You can come in here and let's see, next slide, please. So, which slide are we on right now, Sandoval?
We're on sign in with social media.
Yes. So
Yep.
yeah, you also, once you set up your account, you also do have the option to sign in via your Google account. If you have a Microsoft account, you can sign in via your Microsoft account, and the same with Facebook. And if you guys like, you can also share maybe a post that you put in here via your social media login. You can share that in your social media account if you would like. Okay, and then what we'll go into next, once we go into the register, is the profile preferences, which I think is it's the icing on the cake here. So can we go to the next slide, please?
You got it. Yep.
Profile.
Yep.
Cool. So, when you're setting up your account in here, right, your profile, I've seen some folks, they go in there and they can put like their job title, which is great because, your peers as well, they can see, hey, this is Jane, she's a product manager for this, for MyPath. Or you can see, for example, your other peers who might work in A&R, if you put like, this is Jane who works in admissions and records or financial aid. And it just lets other users know like, hey, all right, this person is works, does what I do at my college as well. So once you come in here and you set up your account, you set up your profile, the next thing you're going to want to do is set up your, the next thing you're going to want to do is set up your notification preferences. So if we can go to the next slide, so we can go over the notification preferences. So what your notification preferences are is basically what do you want to be notified about? Or do you want to get notified every time there's a post made specific to a category? Or do you want to just get a notification via for all the categories? Do you want to get so I would suggest when you're going in here, you're setting up your notification preferences, you can get them either via email or via pop-up. I prefer email because, on our daily workflow, we get constant messages. Probably the last thing you guys want is another pop-up messages coming up on your monitor while you're trying to, get your job done. So again, it's up to you guys. This is a very dynamic platform where you guys can set up your preferences to your liking. So it's really up to how you guys want to be notified when there is an update or a post made regarding a category, product, or service that relates to your daily task. Next slide, please. So, okay, so category notifications. So this is where you guys, so once you set up how you guys want to get your notifications, you would want to go into selecting the categories that you guys want to get notified about. So like I was saying earlier, maybe you guys just want to get notified, or somebody wants to get notified about CCC Apply. Or maybe the next, the next person next to you just needs to be notified about financial aid or the promise grant. You guys can go in here and check those boxes so you guys stay up to date on the categories that pertain to you. So, again, the great thing about setting up these notification preferences is you can stay up to date on specific categories, specific products, and get those notifications anytime we're going to do a release, announcement, anytime there might be, we might have to do like an update. You guys can stay up to date and never be in the dark as far as, updates, announcements, any kind of maintenance windows. All that information will be coming and funneled through this community support forum. So, so, we went through the college staff and faculty support forum, the categories, discussions, functionalities and preferences, and how to register and create your account and set up your user preferences. This concludes my part of the presentation, but afterwards, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. And though, I would prefer you guys go into ccctechnology.info and ask any questions that you guys might have, and we'll gladly, interact with you guys and provide you any information and support that we can.
Thank you, Roberto. Really appreciate that tour of the new forum. And, we're looking forward to exercising the functionality there. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Okay, that brings us to Monica. Can't think of a better person to wrap this up. Monica, just time check. We will need to wrap by 1, so you have about 10 minutes. Thank you.
I'll need even less than that. Thank you for the floor.
Okay.
So just to wrap it up, we've given a lot of information, but please know that we are your single point of contact as CRMs. So there might seem like there's a million moving pieces, but you'll always have a place to ask your question and receive a response. So please use myself, Monica Matusik, and Warren Whitmore as your single point of contact. It's just as vital that we ask that you keep in touch with us, as there's a lot of movement between colleges and resources that change hands. It's really imperative that we keep an open dialogue so that we're able to monitor where you're going and keep the right information getting your way as it changes. Once you're interested in a piece of software that we're able to provide and tailor to your college's needs, you get to work with a wonderful team that supports you throughout the way. Our configuration engineers work behind the scenes to know what your SIS is and the different components that we adjust to your needs at your college. Martin, Brett, Ramya, and Beth Knowles do the best job, and our wonderful timekeepers are our project managers, being Michael Rajkumar, Brian Moss, and Melissa Taylor, who is new. But hopefully, if you haven't had the opportunity to work with any of them, we are happy to work with you anytime. Roberto, who just presented, is the lead of our support team, who are incredible at addressing any of your needs post-implementation. So get in touch with us. As CRMs, we try to keep a record of your college, who's there, your different roles, and keep you on the appropriate listservs. And just get you the information that you need to make a good decision. If you don't mind, those are just some resources here, and please know that we'll be in touch. I tried to take notes from all of the participants that asked for adding to the different spam forums, so we'll be in touch afterwards, so you make sure that your voices got heard. Do you mind going to the next slide, Sandoval? A really great menu that we tend to send out to the colleges. If this meeting was a lot to digest, this is a really good cheat sheet for the tech center and what we offer. Kind of the prerequisites go over what you should have in place prior to implementing, but a really quick phone call, email, text correspondence, and we can get you on the right path to adopting whatever works for your college. These are all of the different components that we offer. Do you mind going to the next slide, Sandoval? Just a few more. Again, they're ever changing. The links are active. You can go to their websites, and please use the CRMs as your contact to get the information that you need. As we know, everybody's needs are different, but hopefully we're here to answer your questions. And that's it. Please be in touch, introduce yourselves. We're always happy to interact with colleges, especially in this new online world. It's just always great to have a conversation. So thank you guys for giving me the floor.
Oh, thank you very much, Monica. And just thanks everyone for attending. We sure hope that this has been valuable for you and that you've learned at the very least how easy it is to connect with the CRMs at the Technology Center. I see that we had tremendous interest in the spam forum. So Jane, it looks like it looks like you've got quite a few.
Yeah, and I did capture everybody, and I know
great.
that also that the CRMs are capturing names, so we'll make sure that we get you all added in there and the invites out. I really appreciate it, because right now we do not have a huge spam. A lot of people that had signed up for our spam subcommittee and information. So this is really going to make sure that we're getting a broader perspective on the impact that the filter has on the whole system. So very much appreciate.
That's great, Jane. Thanks, Andy, Roberto, Jennifer, anyone. We have time for final comments, or we can monitor the chat here for a few more minutes. Just make sure we've got everybody's questions in view.
Yeah, I just want to encourage everyone to reach out to their CRMs. If you're considering a tech center product and aren't sure about the resources required, I think the takeaway here should be that we can assist you. We know that everyone is doing more with less during the regular economic cycle that we're seeing. And so we're here to help, especially when it comes to being able to realize economies of scale and benefit from what's going on across the system. So every college, as they start to talk with others across the system, realizes that they can benefit from the feedback that's provided in our forums. And we encourage that type of community building. And we want to make sure that you all have access to that and can have those resources available, even though you don't necessarily have them at your own college. So please reach out. We're here to help and gather feedback and continue to enhance our products for the benefit of our students and our college users. So thank you for your time today.
Okay, great. Thanks, everyone. Really appreciate it. We have a few more email addresses there in chat, interested in the spam forum. So we'll certainly get those, get everybody in view for that and reach out. Tim Killingstad, if you're still in, I'll connect you with Jane Linder regarding your question on student testing. And I think with that, we'll go ahead and end the session. Really appreciate it, everyone. And again, if you're unable to get a message into chat in time, do reach out through the CRM's email address. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it. Take care. Stay healthy. Stay safe. Bye now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.